Lesson today, social studies with tools back at home. I hope you're doing well. And we are going to talk about resources in the location. Today we are going to talk about the resources in the location, and subtopic is the main sources in the location. Our subtopic is the main resources in the location. Now, what are resources? What are resources? And resources, we say resources are things that we need and use them every day. Resources are things that we need them and use them every day. For example, we have crops, we have animals, we have forests, fish, rivers, and honey. These are the things that we need them every day. These are the things that we use them every day in our homes. So these what we call the resources, things that we need and use them every day. Now, let's start with the crops. Let's talk about the crops. What are crops? What are crops? And we say crops are a crop is a plant grown by the farmer and can be eaten by people or animals. A crop is a plant grown by the farmer and can be eaten either by people or by the animals. Now, who is a farmer? A farmer is someone who works in the farm, or person who plants the seed, plants the crops. So this is what we call who is the farmer. So a farmer is the one who grows the crop. When it's ready, he will go back to the farm and harvest the crop, either to be eaten by the people or to be eaten by the animals. Now, we say there are two types of crops. There are two types of crops, and one we have cash crop. Number one, we have cash crop, and we say cash crops, these are the crops grown for sale. These are the crops grown for money. We grow the crops, we harvest the crops, and when they are ready, we take them to the market, we sell them to the market, then we get the money. And examples of that, we have the sugar cane and we have the cotton. Now, when the farmer grows the sugar cane, the farmer will wait the sugar cane. When it's ready, the farmer will go and harvest the sugar cane, take it to the factory. Then the sugar cane is being processed and we get the sugar. The same thing applies to the cotton. You harvest the cotton, take it to the factory, sell it there, and the farmer gets the money. Then the cotton is being processed and we get the product there. Number two of the crops, we have the food crops. Number two, we have the food crops, and we know the food crops, these are the crops grown for food. These are the crops, the farmer grows them and use them as food. You will harvest the food, you harvest the crop, and let's say like the maize, the farmer will grow the maize. Now, if you have a small garden, the farmer will just harvest the maize there, and then he'll just use it back in the house as the food. Or maybe if you have a big farm, you can plant many crops there. Then after you harvest, you can use some as food, and then maybe you need some money maybe to pay your school, the kids' school, your children's school fees, or maybe you need some money to to provide the basic needs in the house. So you can send some to the market and give the money. So if a farmer has a big farm, he will grow many crops. And if you harvest a lot of crops, for the food crops, you can send them to the market. For the cash crop, you have to take them to the factory. We say farmers plant many crops when the soil is good. Farmers grow many crops when the soil is good, and you know the best soil for planting is the loam soil. The loam soil is the one which the farmers use. If the soil is loam soil, you know that this is a good soil. I can plant my crops here and they will grow well. But you can't grow the crops in the sand soil because they'll not grow. They'll not grow well. So the best soil for planting is loam soil. Number two, we have animals. Number two, we have animals. And the animals have very important resources. Animals are very, very important to have. And there are two types of animals. There are two types of animals. One, we say we animals kept at home, that's called the domestic animals. The animals kept at home, we call them the domestic animals. Number one example is the cow, the goat, the dog, the cat, the camel. These are the domestic animals. These are the animals that we keep in our homes. When we go, we find these at home. Number two, we have wild animals. Number two, we have the wild animals, and we know the wild animals live in the forest. These one you find them in the forest, or you find them in the national park. And wild animals are the animals that live in the forest or in the national park. Now number three we have river fish. Number three we have fish, and we know very well fish live in water. Fish live in water, and we say they give us food. Fish is a protein. Fish is a protein, and we know the proteins helps us to grow, the body to grow. The fish helps the body to grow. So the fish, they give us food. So it is good to eat the fish because it will keep our bodies healthy. So fish is, we have very important resource in our location. Number four, we have honey. Number four, we have honey, and we know very well we get the honey from bees. The bees are the ones that make the honey. The bees have we use the honey, all the insects that makes the honey. So bees make the honey, then people sell the honey and get the money. After the beekeepers harvest the honey from the bee, from where you've kept your beehive. The beehive is where the bees live. So after the farmer harvests the honey from there, what is inside the beehive, the farmer will go and make the honey. Then you take that honey to the market, or you can use it back at home. Number five, we have the rivers. Number five, we have rivers. We all know that rivers are sources of water. These are sources of water. So rivers provide water for people and animals. People need water for drinking. People need water for washing. We need water for cooking. We need water for watering our plants. So rivers will provide us with water. Animals also need water. They also need water for drinking. And also the animals, we have the animals that live in water. We have animals that live in the water. For example, we have the fish, and we have the crocodile, the shark. These are the animals that live in water. So rivers are very important to us. Why? Because they provide us with water. That is the only important thing of the rivers, is because they give us the water. So we have talked about the main resources in our district, and we have talked about the crops. We have said we have two types of crops, that is the cash crops and we have the food crops. We have talked about the rivers, we have talked about the animals, and we have said we have two types of animals, that is the domestic animals and the wild animals. Then number three, we have talked about the fish, and number four, we have talked about the honey, and number five, we have talked about the rivers. Then I have exercise. I have an exercise here, and number one says, what are resources? What are resources? Number two, list down 4 resources in our location. 4 resources. We have talked of 5, so you're only going to mention 4. List 4 resources in our location. Number 3, we have name 3 domestic animals. Name 3 domestic animals, and we have said domestic animals, these are the animals that we keep at home. Number 4, we have name 3 wild animals. Number 4, we have name 3 wild animals. Number 5, we have bees live in dash. Bees live in dash. Number 5 is bees live in dash. Where do the bees live? After the bees lives in a beehive. So the exercise is number from number 1 to number 5. Do the exercise in your books.